What's up, guys? How y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Fruits Basket Season 2 on Episode 5, or the overall episode total number, Episode 30, And this episode right here was actually pretty nice, and this scene and that scene. Oh, come on, man. Oh, why? What are you doing to him? And you guys might be thinking, hold up, what is with you, man? You sound a little out of control right there. That's because after watching that scene and something towards that ending, I am out of control. So if anything else, let's just get this started. When it comes to school, summer break just began, and you know how summer break is, it starts around June or May, however you want to call it, but in the traditional school of Japan, they always have remedial classes or something else to be involved with, and maybe some other stuff. I don't know. But one thing for sure is looks like Uotani or Uo-chan, my favorite blondie delinquent girl, if anything, is gonna be working at another job while our psyche girl or mind reading girl, Hana-chan, she is I don't think she has much to do. Sorry if I'm being so bland, But aside from that, we have to it that as the episode continues on in its own way, Kyo and freaking Yuki fight, arguing verbally at a war zone or something, and we have to it that Haru-chan, I don't know why I enjoy calling him that, because after what happened in the last episode, I feel like calling him Haru-chan or Hatsuharu-san, however you want to call it. Anyways, Haru-chan seems to be is soaking himself in water, and Momoji-chan ends up soaking Kyo in the face and soaks with him with some other water after Kyo decides to give him a little annoying punishment. But I still think I see Kyo enjoying himself at least, even though if he doesn't look like it or if he isn't, at least he's having some fun at least and smiling when he was punishing Momoji. Hopefully, I may be thinking wrong, but Kyo-chan or Kyo-kun is still doing his best. But, they went to a haunted house and something like that, and something else being involved of them being scared, Toru being scared, and then, Hatsuharu makes up a story to pass the time, and it was just hilarious. I'm just finding it very, very hilarious, but at the same time makes me wonder, did this happen to someone already? And then we have that Hatsuharu talks about this boy having been abandoned by his mother, and then he'll later on find her at the end, and then by the time when there's a scary mechanic coming up, freaking Haru-chan just breaks it off and stares at the scary pop-up machine whatsoever. I'm like, oh my lord, man, what the hell is wrong with you? And there's some other funny scenes about paying the damages here and there. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. Even Kyo and Yuki's like, oh my lord, why? Oh man, it was hilarious. Okay, around towards the end of the episode for Hatsuharu, Haru-chan, Momoji-chan, Kyo-kun, and Yuki-kun, they end up having to go back to the house, obviously, and then have some ginger pork, I believe that Haru-chan mentioned that we should have. Okay, another couple scenes involved where Uotani, she does talk about some guy having some kind of klutz or scatterbrain like Toru, But, where I look at it, Uotani does meet him again in his Kureno, if I remember correctly. Kureno, yeah. But aside from that, as the episode continues on in its own way, we get to also know that, that this guy, seems to have met Uotani at a convenience store out of unnecessariness, He talks about that he's 26 years old, which I go holy freaking mother trucker, man. 26 years old, and then Uotani's like, dang, this guy is 9 years ahead of me, Is this even right? I'm like, is that even legal? I'm like, oh my lord, don't even go there. Sometimes the law has many ugly punishments, as y'all know altogether. Let's not be denying that, okay? But aside from that, as the episode continues on, they end up going out to eat together, talk about a couple things, although Uotani wants him to smile more in a certain way that's more sincere, Because the way she looks at him when he smiles, it seems so lonely or it just doesn't feel good, or it's not very genuine, if anything. That much I could explain. Like, yeah. But aside from that, he said something about unnecessary or something, and I mean, Uotani seems to be hurt by this, and she ends up leaving. But the guy says, "Hey, I'm sorry for saying something out of the blue, you know." But he really actually wanted to see her, you know. And you know, they done this in public and so forth, which I go like, "What the heck are you guys doing?" and etc. But it looks like to me he even put his hands on her face, on her neck and face right here, you know. And just stares at her, and it looked like he was gonna go for a kiss. I'm like, don't even think about it, boy. I mean, man, you're trying to get yourself going to jail right now, or what? But he didn't do that, and he just said, like, he just put his hand on her neck and face, and then just says, "See ya." And Uotani seems to take a liking to him, and of course, she does talk it out with Hana-chan and Hana-chan's little brother, and you know, Hana-chan seems lonely, but her brother says, "Hey, are you lonely?" or something, that kind of thing. But we also see Uo-chan having to talk to Hana-chan, saying, "Hey, if Toru gets a boyfriend, we are so going to interfere with their first date. You got it?" And she goes like, "Yeah, let's do it." I'm like, how funny, etc. But you know, another thing that I'm really shocked about Kureno is that he wanted to be by that Uotani side or Uo-chan's side forever. But it looks like to me, when I saw a house looking too familiar, I'm like, hey, this is not what I think it is, right? And he says he wanted to touch those lips, but he won't see her again, and he ends up having to see this Akito. Like, he literally saw Akito. Akito's like, "Hey, welcome home, Kureno. Did you do anything like, any mischief or something, etc.?" He says, "Of course not. I done nothing wrong." And we have to it that he closes the door behind it while Agito ends up putting two of his hands on his face. And I'm like, what the heck is that guy doing? And then we have to it that he even says his last word. It seems like his last words, you know, by saying, "I'll most likely never even get to see her again." I'm like, oh man, don't tell me what. I'm just really concerned right now. It's a little hypothesis, but it looks like Akito has him to be there with him or her for some reason. I don't know what the reason is, but all I can see Akito put two of his or her hands on Kureno's face, and everything just goes dark after Kureno closes the door behind him. I'm like, dear Lord, please don't tell me or something, you know? But guess we'll have to find out later. I am concerned about Akito. I mean, like, we all seen his actions, I mean, in season 1, and then now we're now barely seeing him in action right now in season 2 right now. I mean, this is the beginning of the season. Let's not forget that. I mean, I am concerned at what Akito is going to do to Kureno, but maybe we'll find out later. I mean, hopefully. I mean, not too explicit. I mean, yeah. So, Uotani might have a crush on Kureno, but he did say he may not see her again, which I go like, that seems concerning, but maybe we'll find out. I mean, he is 26 years old, at least like 9 years older than freaking like Uo-chan, you know? So, kind of concern. Yeah, it is kind of concerning. It is kind of concerning anyway. So, hopefully things will be revealed soon, though I am really worried. I mean, like, if Kureno sees Uotani, he may forget her. I mean, that's a hypothesis in my opinion, or he may not see her again. Who knows? But he did say that he's just working and then just does whatever he's told, which I go like, you're like a robot, man. I mean, yeah. Hopefully, we'll have to see later. Hopefully, he'll be fine. I mean, we don't really know about that entirely 100%, but guess we'll find out later. Uotani, if you ever got a crush on that guy, that's fine, but hopefully we don't find out. I mean, this guy, I mean, it's already confirmed explicitly that he may be a Soma, or he is a Soma. That's why he wasn't able to maybe hug her or even put his hands on her in a certain way that won't make him transform, kind of thing. I'm pretty sure you get the cue. But we'll have to see. Uotani, hopefully you find someone. I mean, if that's your guy, that's your guy, but you may have some trouble along the way. We'll have to see. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zitto. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Ta-da!